Hey everybody, I'm Cooter Pickleberry. This is Florida Man Cooking, and today we're going to sous vide some steaks and then do a reverse sear on the Blackstone grill. Welcome aboard. So if you're anything like me and you've never heard of sous vide, I learned about it. I was down in Peru working 7, 8, 9 years ago, and a buddy of mine, like one of the coworkers, said that's how he cooks steaks, and I thought he was crazy because I've always cooked them on wood, and I like them, and I'd never heard the word sous vide before because I'm just a saltwater hillbilly, and I wasn't cool to something like that. But eventually, a couple other people told me it was worth a try, so I tried it. And I got to be honest, it's a pretty good way to make a steak. You get a consistently perfect inside temperature, and then you sear the outside, and it tastes pretty much like it was on a grill. The thing missing is the wood smoke, but I've got that fixed. I'll show you a little trick. Works pretty good. I think you're going to enjoy it. So let's get into it. All right, so here we go. We've got two porterhouse steaks, 1.25 to 2 inches thick, depending where you're looking. They're sitting on a sheet pan that I put tin foil in. The reason I did that was because this is the only sheet pan I have that doesn't look like it was in a demolition derby and later in a bus crash and then later was torched by terrorists. Put a little salt and pepper on them, actually quite a bit of salt and pepper on them. And this is edited. I literally washed my hands before I touched anything again. I have to say that because otherwise my wife yells at me. So a little bit of kosher salt, a little bit of pepper, both sides. And when we're done with that, we're going to stick them in a shrink wrap bag or a vacuum seal bag. Now, if you don't have vacuum seal, that's okay. You can do it with a simple Ziploc bag big enough to hold them. I like going one steak per bag. It's just easier for me. You can double them up if you got room for it. But the big thing is, if you put them in a Ziploc or even in a vacuum seal, you really want to get as much air out of there as you can. With a Ziploc, just leave the top open a little bit, push it in the water, and then as it pushes down, the water pressure will squeeze the air out, and you can zip it up and get it mostly free. I like these a little better because I know they're waterproof. I did end up with a little bit of air in one of them, so it tended to float a little bit. That's just because the vacuum seal didn't get behind something or underneath something, or the leaves on the rosemary that I put on later cause a problem. At this point, right now though, we're just grabbing some salt and pepper off the bottom of the sheet pan and making sure we got every edge covered. And that's really it for the seasonings that we're rubbing into it or putting into it. This is liquid smoke. This is the secret to make it taste like it was cooked on a grill. This is just they capture smoke, they mix it with some water. You dump it on things. It tastes great. It's relatively cheap, lasts a long time, and really gives it that smoky flavor. I like it. It's pretty good stuff. This is the hickory flavor. I think they also sell another one. I was looking for mesquite. They didn't have it. So there you go. So put a little bit of that on one side, stick it in the Ziploc. The problem is, or in the vacuum seal bag, I probably should get some bigger vacuum seals if I'm going to do big steaks like this. This was a little bit harder than I wanted to make it, getting it in there, but we did get it in. And I won't show you both of them, I don't think. I think I edited that out. But once we get them in, there they are. We got two of them sitting there. They're beautiful steaks. And then we just grab some rosemary sprigs. You can use any aromatic you want. I just like rosemary, sometimes thyme. Um, and then we'll stick a couple of pats of butter in each. Those are about a tablespoon each. And those, of course, heat up and melt as this thing goes into the sous vide. And we'll stick a few cloves of garlic in. I think you probably do better if you smash the garlic. I forgot to do that on this one. I just jammed them in there. And same thing with the other side. So pretty much the same thing you do if you're just rubbing a steak down or whatever, or cooking in a frying pan where you put the rosemary in and then blast the butter all over it. This is just easier. We'll just put them in the vacuum seal, run the vacuum, suck the air out of that thing, or at least most of it. And these steaks were still a little bit chilly, so I haven't started the sous vide and started the preheating yet. My intent, of course, was just to get these things going and then set them on the counter, let them warm up kind of at room temperature, and then get the sous vide going. Sous vide takes about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes to heat up. If you're growling in the background, that's two of my feral hogs playing with each other. I apologize for that. So there's a sous vide. It's just an electric wand that circulates the water, heats it up. This is just a silicone cover we put over the tank. and the purpose of that is just to make it more efficient, to retain the heat while I'm trying to warm it up. And there's the steaks just hanging out on the countertop, getting up to room temperature, and maybe absorbing a little bit of flavor there. You know, when you vacuum seal it, you're really pressing that stuff in pretty tight. So this is what the sous vide looks like. Set the temp to 129. It's at 106 now, warming up, and then once it hits 106, that timer will start clicking, and I'll have an hour and a half. It's a fairly thick cut of meat, so I figured an hour and a half would be about right. Turns out after we got done, it was in fact about perfect, so that worked out good. So here's the timer going off, and we pull the cover off. This is just sitting on the counter. It kind of looks like it's in the sink there. It's not. It's just a tub that I bought off Amazon or somewhere. First one sinks nicely. Second one tends to float just a little bit, so I ran out and got a dish to hold it down. So just a small plate. Yes, Pickles. Do they hear you breathing, Pickles? Okay, now she's licking my eye. It's so awkward. She's an awkward girl. Anyway, stick a plate on it. That holds it down. We'll stick the silicone cover back on. That'll about do that. The Sunshine State is only sunny 9 months a year, 8 months a year. The other 4, it rains every day. This is a big rainstorm. Hopefully this will still work for us. If it doesn't, we can cook it. If we can't use a Blackstone, we can always cook it on the frying pan on the stove top, either using stainless steel or cast iron, whatever. But it's easier to do both steaks at once on the Blackstone. I really like that thing. So the timer just went off. Unplug the sous vide, pull it out, drip a little water off it. And the next big thing we're doing is we're going to pull the sacks of steak out of the hot water. The water's only 130 degrees. You know, a hot tub will be 105, so you can stick your hand in there for a second without any real fear of scalding. I wouldn't probably jump in there with your face, though, because then your face would get cooked. No one wants a cooked face. So we just grab that out, and what we're going to do is cut these out, drain the juices in there. There's butter and enzymes and whatever else. So comes out of the steak. We're going to cut these bags open, drain the juices out. That's mostly butter and then some other stuff from the meat. And we're going to pat them dry. If you want a good sear, you don't want moisture. You want them to be dry so you can get them. So that is definitely not the most appetizing looking piece of meat right now, but it will be. Let me get some more light on this. We're just going to try to dry that off best we can. And then the Blackstone's heating up downstairs. We're going to throw it on there and get that beautiful char on it. The plate's already wet. Put it on a dry plate and do it again. That rosemary and garlic and smoke smells delicious. This is a perfectly good piece of meat. You could eat it right now. It just isn't as good as it will be once we sear it. The sear has a chemical reaction that makes the meat taste even better. I'd like to pretend I know what it is. It's called like Maillard or something like that. It just reminds me of a duck. We're going to cook it in duck fat on the grill, so duck fat on the grill, so that makes sense. All right, so we're about 510 degrees on the hot part of the griddle right now, which is perfect for a good sear. We'll put a little duck fat down. Then we'll lay some steaks down. And then we'll put a little weight on them. We're not squishing the juice out. We're merely ensuring a good sear. Sear, not shear. So these are my weights that I use for making smash burgers, and they double up as a good way to press the steak right into the griddle surface and get that good sear going. So we're going to go middle each side or so. And they should look fantastic after that. I'm going to move that one. There we go. So it's spreading that weight around a little bit. We're not squishing the juice out. There's plenty of juice in there. It's just cooked in butter for an hour and a half. So it should turn out pretty good. We're going to give it about another 30 seconds or so, something like that. And my son, Trip, is working the camera, so he'll tell me when 30 seconds is up. So that'd be math. You do the math on how much, yeah. No, that's not 30 seconds. He's a good baseball player. The math thing. He better get an athletic scholarship. That's all I'm saying. All right. Let's get a look at this sear. Pull it in here, Rye. Trip. Oh, that looks wunderbar. So we'll go about another minute. So look for a minute. All right, so we're cooking here, and really not much to say for this little part. These are porterhouse steaks. They were on sale at the local grocery store. They're about 1.5 inches thick, maybe a little bit thicker in spots. So that's why we went with an hour and a half. If they're like 2.5 inch thick, I probably would have gone 2.5 hours. With the sous vide, you can cook really as long as you want, but after about 4 hours, it just kind of turns to mush if you're using steak. You can get away with that with a tougher cut of meat like a London broil type thing. Okay, this is the feral hog trying to escape through the fence. The white one there, Pickles McFlipper, she's actually figured out a way to bust her way through the fence. So I put a little trellis up to stop her. But she's trying to figure that out now too. Dogs are evil. About another 10 seconds, we'll pull this off. I'm gonna hand the camera. No, we get her back in. And there she goes. She escaped. Oh, that looks pretty good, man. You know what? A little fillet portion might need just a couple seconds more. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with a good crust on the outside of the steak. That really changes the flavor and makes it great. So you got a little, not crunchy, but a little bit tighter on one side, and then juicy and beautiful in the middle, and it really works out good. And the bugs, the no-see-ums, which I will put a picture on in the video, the no-see-ums, they're evil. They're evil little alligators that you can't see that have wings, and they fly around and they bite you nonstop, and it's kind of horrific. And it happens every night when we're out here at sunset. For about an hour, 2 hours around sunset and sunrise, we get bit by these creatures. They're little tiny little green alligator things. Some of them look like aliens. It's all under a microscope. I don't own a microscope, so I'm not really sure, but they're kind of nasty. Anyway, we're going to pull these off now. What do you think, Ray?
I think those look beautiful.
Good. Let's go eat. All right. So an hour and a half in the sous vide at 129 degrees, a couple of minutes on a griddle at 500 degrees. And I'm not sure how good the light is in here and if you can see that, but that is a perfect medium rare steak. Nice and pinkish red here, warm, and then nice crust on the outside. This is going to be a great meal. So I hope you enjoyed this as much as we're going to enjoy eating it. It looks really good. You know what? I'm just going to have a real quick taste just because I can't help myself. Ah, that's a perfect steak, man. It's really good. You can taste the wood smoke from that liquid smoke. You can certainly taste the rest of the stuff that's in there, as well as just a really good cut of meat. So it's absolutely delicious. I'd like to thank Trip for being the cameraman for me today. If it's wobbly, it's because that's how he does it sometimes. Oh, he's smirking at me now. Also, if you like this, you want to see more recipes, it really helps the channel grow and get bigger. And not that we're getting any money or anything, but it's just kind of fun to see if you can get enough. And I really want to get the plaque someday that says I have whatever it is, 100 subscribers or 1,000 or 10 million. So if you'd like and subscribe, I'd sure appreciate it. This is Sous Vide on a Blackstone, and it's delicious. And thanks again for joining us. Have a good night. See you next time.